I have no microphone this time. I don't know where it is. I need to find it, and I kind of didn't have time to find it. Also, I wasn't going to stream. I know I haven't streamed for the last 3 weeks, but that's because I was doing something else. Mm, I wouldn't say vibing out, but I just little break. Let's just call it a little break. Um, I might as well tell you what man's was at, where man's was, because yeah, I just dipped with no warning. Apologies for that, but it was I forgot my microphone. Okay, I went somewhere and I forgot my microphone, and I didn't think I would bother streaming. I decided to take the time for myself, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in regards to music, culture, a lot of different things. Basically, there's also no topics for this live stream. I don't know how long this live stream will be. Um, but we'll just go with it. Um, in regards to the live streams I missed, I will stream more to catch up because I want to hit that 52 weeks. The 52 live streams in a year, I think that's very not only necessary, but like I made a promise to you guys that I'll do it. I made a promise to myself to have the live streams go on. So the live streams will be kind of accelerating at this stage. I'll try to make them better. I'll get like a nice topic conversation going that it'll just go from one episode to the next, to the next, to the next. Anyways, I went to uh, Granada, right? Granada in Spain. It was a very, very good experience. And I basically got to see the Spanish culture in Granada. I got to see the people of Granada, chatted to a lot of people. I performed music as well. That was really fun. Um, wrote a song in Granada as well. I think that will be the next release. It's not part of any album, any single, any EP. It is a single. It's not part of any record, as far as I know at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind. Like making an EP about Granada would be kind of class. It actually would be. But this is just a cool song that was written with a couple people, so that'll be out. Don't want to say too much yet because I want to get it going first, right before I make any promises that the song's out. Um, and yeah, weather was lovely. It was nice to see the sun for once because Ireland doesn't have any sun like ever. And also, I'm trying to get back into streaming here. It's so strange. Um, anyways, I'm gonna just talk about a couple random things. But I got this book, right? It's the stories of Alhambra, right? It's written by Washington Irving. And I'm not really done with the book by any means. I only got to page, what is it, 55, if you can see that, 55. Um, page 55. And essentially it talks about who this young fella is. And he was born in the USA. He went to Granada, where he was learning about the Spanish culture and all this. This happened in 1800s. So over 200 years ago. He the world was such a different place 200 years ago. Like think about it. Those were the like Red Dead Redemption 2 days where we had we still had horses and we still had like those we didn't even have revolvers back then. Ain't that a bit man? No phones too. Ooh, yo, you guys wouldn't like those times, I think, with no phones. Um, but yeah, he describes the time period very accurately. How you had bandits, you had a lot of random stuff could happen. You could just get robbed, mugged, and nobody would know. Like, um, and back then, people really relied on one another. They worked together very closely to keep society and civilization going. Because what else can you do? Otherwise, it's just chaos. Nothing works. Nothing you, bro, that's a fucking collapse in itself. But I digress. 200 years ago, he wrote that book. And then he became the emissary, I believe, for the USA in London. So he flew all the way back to London. And what happened then is he made this book after he had collected notes over time, and he essentially released a book, The Stories of Alhambra, which goes into the legends and stories that the people of Alhambra or Granada would tell him, just to keep them alive. And again, putting together different stories and legends, kind of merging them, I believe, into one concise story. I remember the whole point of a story is that it has a message in it. When a message, what I mean by that is a good story makes you look into an archetype. I'm not sure if these stories go into it, but usually you have a hero archetype, a villain archetype, or the archetype of someone evolving and becoming better, right? A lot of stories do that. That's like, those are the good stories. What's the point of a story of someone just going to a shop and coming back? There's no story in that. Unless there's like a funny thing that happened, then that's. Sorry, my thing keeps clanking. Take it off. But yeah, archetypes, all that. I don't think we'll cover this in this video, but he wrote that book, and after he released a revised version, which he updated, he added more details onto it. He interconnected different notes with things. Hello to the first viewer here. I have the chat on if you want to chat, but essentially the book has pictures, and you know how rare it is for a book to have pictures these days? It's actually very rare. Like, I have pictures of this, right? This is, I'm gonna try and like have you guys see it. That's the Alhambra right here, and then it overlooks the city. That city looks so different today, actually. So much more packed with buildings. And it keeps going into what the palaces look like. You know, it's sick. I bought the book just for the crap of it. That's the entrance to the Alhambra. You know how chill it must have been to live back then? Like, what I mean is chill. You're just walking so slow. Like, you do have things to do that day, but it's like, you know, you can't travel by a car, you can't take a bus, you can't take a train, so you're just taking it so slowly, so chill. You're chatting to everyone, you're taking in the nature, the environment, the sounds. Like, you're more attuned to the present moment than focused on the long-term goal, or the goal of the day. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We can do more things today than we could back then in one day, in an hour even. And it keeps going. Right. And as he wrote this book because he found beauty in the Alhambra. And the Alhambra is actually in the center of Granada. The very, very center of Granada. It's surrounded by the entire city. Has a lot of cathedrals. And I don't know Spanish history that well, but essentially you had a lot of conflicts between two religions, and you know, they switched rulers, the religion switched who's in charge and all that. Very interesting how the whole thing works, and a lot of those influences are still present in the architecture, in the people's culture, and the foods. Really did stand its test of time in its unique ways. And yeah, essentially he wrote this book, found beauty in the Alhambra, and he noticed how it's falling into disrepair, how people don't really appreciate the beauty of the Alhambra the way he does. So what this book ended up doing is it ended up bringing attention to the Alhambra. Literally in the opening statement, he says it's a shame that the Spanish government doesn't take care of the Alhambra back then, back 200 years ago. And guess what ended up happening? Because of that, this book, people started to visit the Alhambra. They were like, what is this guy writing about? Why is this so nice to him? We can only read about it. Let's see it for ourselves. And they did travel. And it gained such popularity that, you know, they ended up actually taking care of the Alhambra. It is a tourist destination today. I've heard it is one of the uh, biggest, it's one of the seven wonders of the world. But I looked it up, it's not. But then I noticed that uh, there's actually 200 wonders of the world, 201 if you count your mother. And it's strange that depending on which website you go, they only mention seven, and the seven ones are different. Yeah, like the pyramids of Giza apparently are a world run, bro, a world wonder, and then sometimes they're not. Very interesting how that works. 200 world wonders. We can definitely count the Alhambra as one, not only because of how stunning it looks, but also because of its rich history, cultural heritage that it holds. And what I was trying to say is, it's very interesting that one person found beauty in this place, and because of it, the government had to take care of it. And because of that, it is a very popular tourist destination. If it wasn't the case, Granada wouldn't even be as popping or popular as it is today. Because as you know, tourists bring in money to a destination. We're going to talk about business right now. Tourists bring in resources, money, popularity to a place, which forces the place to expand via restaurants, services like bus routes, train routes, housing, accommodation, shops, right? That's what happens when if you're five and you don't know. Well, essentially, because of this one book, Granada is popping today. And while this is happening, maybe not while this is happening, you also had Federico Lorca. He was a poet, a Spanish poet, when he got executed because he believed in free thinking. And a lot of people at that time period were executed for being free thinkers, not following a specific ideology or agenda, right? So essentially, they were all gone. I think it was about 200 or 2,000 people that were just knocked out. And it's incredible because when you do that, in a way, they become martyrs. So their work actually ended up popping off because of that. And he found beauty in the flamencos. Flamenco, not flamencos, but flamenco is it is a music, cultural music thingy, dance, singing, music that follows a specific sound design. It's very complicated. When I talk to people about it and noticed it myself, you truly do have to be born into it. You have to start learning it from a very young age or come from a family that has been doing it for a long time in order to fully be able to capture the actual essence of it. It originally stems from the gypsies when they came to Spain, and the ones that stayed in the Granada region. A lot of them were, just labor workers, so they work. And when they had a good time, they would go on the sesh, like they would drink, they would party, and what ended up happening is they would actually just vibe out and created their own musical culture, which is flamenco. Flamenco dancing, flamenco singing, flamenco, like it's a lot of things. It has its own way of playing the guitar. Got to see it myself. It is great. It is very good. You can tell it is very cultural. I take a shot every time I say very. It is unique. And that's what separates genres. It would probably be a musical genre, but you know what I mean? It is its own genre. It stands out as its own thing, and it doesn't really try to be anything else. And it is a very Spanish thing, flamenco. And just because of that, just like the other guy, all it takes is for you to care about something, and it has an impact. You allow the thing to grow. This was one thing, what I heard. This was one thing that was, you couldn't control this. Flamenco was its own thing, and it was decided by the people what it is, how it sounds, how it evolves. There was not a single person that could come in, halt it, control it, notifications, or force it to be something it wasn't. It was a natural. Hold on, I'm just gonna. I hate notifications that vibrate. I don't know about you. I just can't stand it. How do I? Oh, there it is. Boom. No. We're not doing notifications at the moment. But as I was saying, flamenco was literally one of those things that just was its own thing, stood the test of time, and it's still around today. It is still popular. It is literally one of those. When you think of a country and you can think, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this. For example, every country has its own instrument, right? Like, for example, Ireland. Ireland has the harp, right? That's an Irish thing. It's literally an Irish symbol as well. When you think of Japan, they have that little long bow thingy. It looks like a bass guitar, but it's very long. It looks like a box. Egypt, I believe Egypt has the Egyptian oud. It's like a guitar, but it has that Egyptian string sound to it. Essentially, and Ireland would have Irish dancing. So Spain would have flamenco dancing. I'm trying to think of other countries, what other countries have. Like, for example, America would probably be heavily country based. Like the cowboy hats, what the fuck they say, cowboy boots, and guitars. That's what it would be. Yeah, very interesting to me. I'm trying to think what else. I'm kind of talking about the culture and things I've seen, noticed. It's very romantic and poetic, the entire region. Very different from the other regions. The way they speak, the way they write. It's very focused on having, I would say, like a poetic undertone to everything, a romantic undertone. And it's incredible. Very great experience. And I just wanted to take it all in. I didn't really feel like streaming there. I could have streamed. It would make for some really good backgrounds, actually incredible backgrounds. But at the same time, I forgot my microphone. And again, right now I can't find my microphone, so I kind of, silly little excuse to not stream. But essentially, it worked well for the whole thing. Great time. Got to see a lot of different parts of it. Yeah, and the food is very unique. You don't get that in any other countries to drink. Well, there was like 2 years ago, I spent a whole year not drinking any alcohol, just to detox and think very straightly. Okay. And what ended up happening is I kind of went back on it, not in a fucking alcoholic way, but bro, Granada was something. Granada was something, man. Do you know how different the prices are in Ireland compared to Spain? Like a pint of beer costs about €5.50 here. There, it was €3. It was €3, fam. Jack and Coke, the best drink in the world. Don't at me, like literally, don't at me. Go away. It was 5 something, 5.50, 5.50, and here it goes for up to €9. Insane how that works. And a shot, of vodka, 150. While here it is €4 or €5 for a shot. You might as well buy a bottle of vodka and down that shit at that stage in Ireland. Like, I'm not. I don't condone this, by the way. That's a joke. Like, obviously, that's a joke. And the song, it's interesting. It was made in Granada, and it is very romantic and poetic. We were messing around with how different people approach music making, how a song structure works, how you even start a song from scratch. And the way I start a song is for example, if we're starting from scratch, I'll create the melody and then I'll kind of build off that melody. I'll focus on one single part. It could be the verse or it could be the chorus. And I'll write lyrics for it. And I'm like, this might be it. And then you just expand, 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 and you get the thing. And then you just do some finishing sprinkly touches, and you have a great track. And in this case, it is a really, really good track. Managed to learn the guitar a bit more as well, which is great because, yeah, I'm still not that great at it, but improving every day. And it did show me that when you dedicate yourself to something and you keep trying and trying and trying to do it, you'll excel at it. You actually will excel at it. Practice makes perfect. So you stick to it every single day. And when you do get exhausted on your first day, try again the next day. You get exhausted on your second day, you'll excel the second day. And when you get tired, go back at it on the third day. And just keep going and going until you master whatever you're doing. Essentially, that's it, self mastery. I was working on, sorry, I'm very out of breath. I was working on my website as well. As you guys know, we've got the logo going. I said that in the last thing, but I didn't really want to touch anything while on this little, it was a work placement, but a little getaway as well from the usual. So I was kind of just, you know, thinking about the music aspect of everything, how it looks, how it sounds. This was a really good period for it as well. And I did do something on the website. I changed the contact tab to a services tab. Now I offer mixing and mastering services. If you're watching this and you're interested in the mixing and mastering services, you're very, very welcome to get in touch with me or have a go at it. I made it a very simple and easy process on the website. You literally just put your social media details, your email, your name, how many tracks you want, what you're looking for, and what your song's about. And we can go from there. And it's a really nice deal. You get 3 songs done for the price of 2. And the price isn't high. I know I can do a very, very incredible job. Sometimes I surprise myself with how well it is done. But in a way, I also, from where I am, I was there when I needed mixing and mastering services, and the prices people charged are ludicrous. It's insane how much people can charge for a simple mix and master. Like I've heard people get an album mixed and mastered for 25K, and yo, 25K is insane because mixing and mastering, once you understand the component and how each genre works and how it's not that difficult, it really isn't that difficult. And to me seeing that, it's mad money, and I'm not focused on that. It is nice to get paid for your work, your hard work especially, but then again, I've been there where I needed mix and mastering services, and charging like that just doesn't make sense to me. So we're starting low, and I'm gonna try. Well, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna keep it low for as long as possible. Obviously, if the operation expands, that will have to go up, but I really don't think it will because I like mixing and mastering. I like working on other songs, so I really don't see myself going any higher unless I actually just have to fine tune it a tiny bit to cover other costs. So essentially, that's it. Um, I have a lot of cool stories as well. Uh, yeah, but I don't think I can say them on the live stream or YouTube because it's not really an NDA. It's just a personal NDA where I don't want to just get shit out there. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think, but essentially, I think that would be it. Uh, No, I'm really trying to think. Listen. I am trying to think of something like just a random story or something, but I really can't think of anything. Mm, yeah, the time flew by, but I'm really happy to be back because I missed. You have no idea how much I miss. I love doing this. I love making these live streams. I love working on the music behind the scenes and getting the TikToks done for you guys. It's not really like it's not really for you guys. It's more like I'm changing like it's it is for you guys. This is for the whole page, which again, it's interesting because this whole music page is like a music page, a blog, a vlog. It's a lot of things. It's a education channel. It's I don't even know what it is. I think this is a one of a kind thing. Uh, if you know, you know. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of it, and I will catch up with the live streams. Don't worry about that. I'll think of something really cool to get us going. It won't be scripted, but it will follow a certain amount of words. But then again, uh, that'll just come. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys had a good one. And again, sorry for the microphone not being, here, so I sound better. But I did. I looked everywhere and I can't find it. So unfortunately, no microphone. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.